Uh, I'm so excited to have you all here today. So, quickly, let's, get familiar with ourselves. If you know you are active, you are ready for this webinar, I want you to, react or, put in the chat box with your favorite emoji. Let's go, guys. Okay, I am not seeing any emoji yet. So if once again, even though you're active, you're ready to join us on this train, why don't you react or put in the chat box your favorite emoji and let's kick off. Oh yeah. Yes, we rock. The analytic rocks. You also rock. That's nice, Jonathan. It's gonna be a hot session, so we're coming with the heat. But you're going to enjoy it though. All right, still familiarizing, still getting familiar with ourselves. Let's do something. I want to know where you are joining us from. So in the chat box, put the place, the country, the city that you are joining us from. As for me, I'm joining you from Lagos, Nigeria. How about you guys? Oh, nice match. Hello from Alberta, Canada. It's nice to have you here. You're welcome. Hey, Jonathan. How are you doing in it? Hello. I didn't get your name, but I can see iPhone. Hello from Germany. Oh, Jolly from Italy. Bienvenido. You're welcome to this session. Hello, Didiong. Nice having you from Abuja. It's great. Being we're all joining from interesting places. This is wonderful. Oh, yes, Jolly. Kwego. Hello, Chidiebere. Hello from Sheffield, United Kingdom. Hope you're doing good. Okay. So like I said, we are all joining from interesting places. I mean, we are all connected to this webinar from different places, and it's so nice. And if there's one thing I'm going to show you is what we are going to be enjoying from here. But before we kick off, I want to know those of us that are just joining this, joining any of the analytics webinar for the first time. If you're joining us for the first time, I want you to give me a 1 in the chat box. Or if you're joining us for, let's say you've joined before, you are just, you want to, see another, course, we want to see a webinar about another course, just give me a 2. Not forgetting about you, Lola. Hello from New York, United States. And Sean from Arizona. Oh, Sean, multiple times. Interesting. Natch, you're welcome. iPhone, you're also welcome. How I wish I can speak German. I would have, welcomed you in German, but I can't, so we can continue that way. All right. I only have Natch. I have iPhone. Apologies. I can't see your name, so I have to go with iPhone. Okay. Okay, Jolly, this is your second time. Not bad. Okay, Lola, this is your first time. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, hello, Blessed. Yeah, so good to know your name. So good to know your name. Hello, Blessed. How are you doing? Did Young join us for the first time? Nice. Blessing also joining us for the first time. Okay, guys, quickly, there's something I want you to know. There is a message that has just been put in the chat box, and that is for us to fill the attendance form so that we can get access to the recording and also the resources that we are going to be using in this session. So please don't forget about it. Let's fill it. If you have missed it, it's going to be sent to you, later on. But please let's not forget about the attendance form. All right. So for those of us that are joining us for the first time, welcome. I mean, this is going to be an amazing masterclass, an amazing webinar that we're going to be having today. And for those of us that are, been here before, still welcome. It's so great to, see you coming back for another, insight. And we have a lot of goodies that we're going to be sharing in this masterclass. I've been saying that a lot, and you are going to be, seeing it, very soon. So why don't we, get into why we are here today. So just give me a minute, let me share my screen. All right, guys. So let me just close this. Okay. Nice. Wonderful. So as you can see on my screen, we are going to be looking at designing a cloud-based network analytics framework on AWS as a newbie cloud engineer. And this is the analytics webinar, as you know, holding on the 20th of August, 2025. Now, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be, first of all, we're going to be looking at the basics. So we're going to be looking at the context, the problem, and some solutions on how we can, design a cloud-based network analytics framework on AWS. And then we are going to go into the pathway to become a data engineer because, assuming all of us that are joining in on this webinar are interested in data engineering, how do you become a data engineer? And also, we're going to be looking at analytics growth internship program. Yeah, that's after you've taken the course, how you can, get internship and hands-on experience before going or applying in the job market. And we also have a special discount offer for those of us that have joined this, particular webinar. So just stay tuned till the end of the session. So why not let me introduce you to who we are and what we do as Tenalytics. So quick one about analytics here. We are an edtech, an educational technology company that has been helping Africans and people of the Black community learn premier tech skills, and also, we have helped them to lower the entry barrier into tech. We have helped a lot of people to start tech or even transition, into tech. And our services are aimed at building capacity and understanding across different tech fields, from data analytics to business analysis to data engineering, which we are, which is the scope of this webinar, to data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, from cybersecurity, AI engineering, and some other courses to come. And we have been, we have been able to, groom our students, teach our students on the entire data ecosystem, learning their own field and how their own field also interacts with other, fields in the data ecosystem. About our facilitators, wonderful people, top professionals from diverse sectors and reputable organizations like Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, and and company, Amazon, PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, Sahara Group, P&G, Google, Coca-Cola. You see all those names are very, very interesting, meaning what you are getting is premium, is top notch. And our courses are are well structured in a way that you're going to be doing hands-on projects and you're also going to understand. So you can follow us on any of our social media platforms, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, or you can just visit us on our website to learn more about us. So let me introduce you to one of the moderators of this webinar, in person of Muhyiddin. And as you can see here, Muhyiddin has a wealth of experience in data analytics and business engineers. And with that experience, he has helped lots of organizations streamline their operation to align with strategic goals. Muhyiddin is a big time mentor and has helped over 500 people transition into tech. 500 people and counting, still a mentor. And Muhyiddin's experience spans across, innovation and growth in analytics. Also, is a business development manager in BBX UK Bournemouth. And also, he's a data analyst. I was a data analyst in Nigeria Canaan Society, and he also has some experience in management and data analytics consulting. Hello, Muhyiddin. Can you also unmute your mic and say hello to every one of us here?
Hi, Ojario. It's actually wonderful to be here. Thank you for the introduction. It's awesome to be here tonight. Thank you.
Right. So as you can hear, it's awesome to be here tonight, meaning you're going to be having an awesome, if not more awesome session. Now, about myself, I am also another moderator, co-moderator of this webinar. I'm a highly skilled data professional with proven track record in diverse data ecosystem, from data engineering to web scraping and machine learning, and I'm focused on delivering innovative data-driven solution And I specialize in architecting efficient data system and also, sometimes tackle complex data challenges, which is, what I love doing. And my skills have been applied to various sectors in the edtech and the supply, chain, industry. And just like Muhyiddin, it's also awesome, to be with you and to share the amazing things that, Analytics can offer you. All right, I guess it's now time to now let's dive into what that is the designing of the cloud-based network analytics framework. And if you are ready to go with me on that train, I want you to put ready in the chat box. Okay, Blessing is ready. David is ready. David, you're welcome. I didn't introduce myself to you. Yeah, Jonathan, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, Olonfemi, you're ready. I'm also ready. I'm ready. I just want to know if you're ready. Sean is ready. That's great. That's wonderful. Lola is ready. Good, good. I want to see more people ready. We are more than this on this in this session. Natch is also ready. Wonderful. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Why don't you let me indulge you in a little bit of context about this cloud-based network analytics framework. So first things first, let's start. What is network analytics? So you might have heard of network before, you might have heard of analytics. Now, what are those? Now they're now becoming like one word or one concept or one idea now. And what is it? This is the process of collecting and analyzing network data to gain insight into traffic patterns, security, and performance. And for a data engineer, this network data represents a valuable high-volume data source for analytics. So, we are kind of helping out the cybersecurity guys here, and we're kind of helping them to, channel the data to those that's going to help them to understand what's going on with their network. So this network actually shows us some sort of activity that is going on over the network, and it comes in form of data. I don't know if you've heard of the word log. Yes, if you have not heard of it, if you've heard of it, we call it what? We call it log, or in turn, network or network data. And we're going to be delving into collecting it and also analyzing it. We want to just gain some sort of understanding into what is going on in this particular network. And what's the problem here? Now, remember the logs I talked about, which is the network data. They are like a form of streaming data, and they are often unstructured or semi-structured. If we're talking about unstructured data are data that come in a very, very raw format. Some can come in video, some can come in pictures, some can come in music. But network logs will not come in any of that. But it's going to be coming in some sort of text, whether and it can be structured or semi-structured. And that sheer volume and velocity of this data can overwhelm a traditional database. That is why whatever we are going to be doing today is going to be cloud-based. So a data engineer's challenge now, which is the problem that we are trying to solve, or rather the problem that we are meeting, is to manage this data without high cost and operational overhead. So while we have, let's say, a lot of money at our disposal, let us also manage this money. So we don't want this just, we are doing it as a newbie. So it's going to be something simple but effective. All right. What's now the AWS solution? So this AWS cloud platform provides a serverless pay-as-you-go model, and we can use that native AWS service to design the entire network analytics framework. So this network analytics framework that we are going to be designing is going to, be entirely on the AWS cloud platform. We're going to be giving us some sort of serverless pay-as-you-go model, meaning it is whatever you use that you pay for. So it's not like it's subscription based where you might not really do anything, and at the end of the month, your money is gone. And it's also serverless, meaning that it's going to be very, very fast and seamless, if you ask me. So from the data collection to processing, and we're going to be doing all this without managing without managing a single server. So the network analytics framework is that, is that data environment where we are going to be analyzing. But first of all, we are going to collect it. We're also going to process it then before we now do whatever analysis we want to do. Now, what is the data engineering goal, right? The focus or rather, this problem is going to be solved with a data engineering method. And our goal is to utilize the AWS Cloud Platform to build a low-cost, scalable, and efficient network analytics framework. Like I said, simple, but yet efficient. So it can be simple, it can be complex, but the main goal is to make it efficient. In our own case, we are just going for the simple format. And this framework will be able to ingest, store, and process this network log data to make it accessible for business intelligence and security team. Please, can you remind me of the word I used to describe network data? Anybody? Just put in the chat box. I use the word to describe network data. Semi-structured. Okay, OG. Thank you, OG. Okay, data to monitor network traffic. Thank you, David. Okay, thank you, OG, and thank you, David. Why both of you are not wrong, either the word I used was log to describe network, network data. But still, network data can be unstructured, semi-structured according to OG, and according to David, network data is the data used to monitor the network traffic. Whatever activity that is going on, who logged in, who logged out, who clicked on that, who clicked on this, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much, Blessed, for that word, log. So that's the data engineering goal. We want to ingest in terms of we want to get these logs, we want to store it, we also want to process it and make sense of whatever this thing is telling us. I want to make it accessible for business intelligence and the security team so that they can be alert and know what is going on with the traffic. Now, quickly, let's look at the architecture of the network analytics framework. So as you can see on the AWS platform, we have some services that we are going to be making use of to make sense of everything. So we're going to be, utilizing the VPC, because the VPC, which in turn translates to virtual private cloud. That this is where the network data, that is the logs, are what are generated from, right? So as you can see here, why we generate the network data from the VPC, okay? How we generate the network data from the VPC, it goes straight into our storage. This is where we ingest it from, and this is where we store it. So it goes into our storage. That's where we have the Amazon S3, the simple storage service. So the raw log data goes into the Amazon S3, and from the Amazon S3, it goes all the way to Athena. Athena is where we are going to process and also run whatever analytics we want to run on that particular data. And we're going to be visualizing using what? QuickSight. But we're not going to be doing that. That's for the data aspect. One thing we want to also show you is that while you are working as a data engineer, you are also servicing other teams in your organization. And this QuickSight is servicing the data analytics team or the business intelligence team, so that they will also service the security team, so that everybody can have an idea or in-depth knowledge of what's going on with our network traffic. And as you can see, there are some other, okay, yes. So if you can follow my pointer, as you can see, we have some other lines that is coming, from the bottom of each and every one of the service, and those ones are also what? Are also logs, because if we are using these services, there are also going to be logs that's going to be submitted back to the VPC, and then we can also, in turn, that data that is being generated from each and every one of these services comes back into the VPC, and the VPC now outputs it as a raw log data. So you see that it's kind of like a circle of knowing what is going on within our environment, and everything is going to be happening live on the AWS cloud platform. So let's now look at the building blocks of our NAF, that is our network analytics framework. So firstly, we are going to be starting with data ingestion, where we are going to create something we call a VPC flow log, right? And this is the data source. It captures IP traffic information within an Amazon virtual private cloud. Remember, VPC. And this provides a continuous feed of raw network data. Now we store it after ingesting from there. We store in Amazon S3. This is the storage layer, and the S3 is highly scalable and durable data lake. We call it a data lake. And a data lake is a kind of repository that stores massive volumes of raw data. And in this log data is a raw data, so we need it in its most native format, which is very, very inexpensive and efficient. Remember, low cost. And then we're going to be processing and querying and carrying out analytics using the Amazon Athena, which is a query engine that is serverless, and it enables a schema on read approach, meaning you don't really need to set up a schema. As you are reading in the table, you are creating, you are giving it schemas, meaning you are creating tables as you are reading in, as data is coming in. And it also allows you to query the data directly in S3. So we might not really need, like I said, we are doing something simple, right? So we don't really need to do some sort of pipeline, which is the extract, transform, load. All we just need to do is from the source directly, we are already querying this. Okay, while we have looked at the building blocks of our networks analytics framework, why not let us build some blocks with what we have just looked at? But before we do that, I want anybody in the chat box, just tell me the meaning of VPC. Anybody? What's the meaning of VPC? Mentioned it about twice now, so I guess we should be familiar with the word. Okay, virtual private cloud. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, user. Thank you, Atemwanige. Please, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And also, Blessed, thank you so much. It's a virtual private cloud. So let's get our hands dirty. Let's build some blocks, like I said. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, nice. Okay, wonderful. So as you can see, guys, we have this the architecture here. This is even a live version. So you are seeing how the data is moving from the VPC to the S3 to the Amazon Athena and to quick sites. We're not going to look at this, by the way. Disclaimer: we're not going to talk about this, but this is where we are going to be dwelling on, because as a data engineer, this is what concerns us. Then the business intelligence team or the data analytics teams are the one that's going to take the cue from here. All right, before we get started, let's not forget about the attendance form that we should fill. Let's not forget about it. So the link, as we put in the chat box, we can just click on it, fill it up, and yeah, we can click on it, fill it up, and we are good to go. So guys, let's continue. Okay. Okay. All right, nice. Okay, so quick one. We're going to be logging into the AWS console. As you can see, this is my AWS console. This is my account. This is how the home page looks like. Sometimes shows you your recently visited apps. And we're going to be moving in from services to services. And the very first one we are going to be starting with is the VPC. So how do I get to the VPC? All I need to do is to just search and put in what VPC. So myriad of services are going to come out, but we are going to be going for one, which is the VPC itself, right? So I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to open it in a new tab, by the way. Guys, and it take a while to to get loaded up. All right, guys, so while we have our VPC, as you can see, if I want to see the VPC in question, there are a lot of information here and can be confusing, but we are heading straight to the one that we have, the default one that we have, which is what we are using for this session. So I'm just going to select your VPCs, and this is what we have right here. Now, I want to create something called a flow log, meaning I want to, while the log is available, I just want that log to be directed or to be saved inside something we call an S3 bucket. So I'm going to, select this particular VPC, right? And I'm going to select flow logs. So while selecting flow logs, I'm going to be creating a new flow log, right? So I have one already, but I'm just going to walk you through. This is what I'm using. This is what we are using though. So I'm just going to walk you through how to create a flow log and how to send it directly to your S3 bucket. So I'm going to select create flow log. It's going to bring out, a window. And here we're going to put in the name of the flow log. In my own case, I put in my flow -log 00. Then I want for the filter, I want all logs, which is either it accepted or it rejected. I want all logs to be present. And I also want the maximum aggregation interval. That is, I want it to be in a 10-minute interval. You can also have it in a 1-minute interval if you want, depending on how well you want to go over this. But now this is now one of the most important parts, which is the destination. Where do you want it to be? Normally, these logs are present in something we call another service we call CloudWatch, right? So we call it CloudWatch logs, but I don't want it in CloudWatch logs. I want to be able to analyze it, and it's a long process when you want to take it from CloudWatch logs. So I'm going to just use the Amazon S3 bucket. So I'm going to select Amazon S3 bucket, and it's going to ask me where or what's the destination of the S3 bucket I want to place this in. This is what's now going to lead me to create a new S3 bucket. So we're going to go over, if I want to get an S3 bucket, if I can go back to my console, I can just search S3. So if I search S3, this is what we are going for. Although we have another one, we call it Glacier, and this one is for like an archive. But this is what we are going for. Let's not get confused. S3 is S3. So let's just go there. So I have it opened, here. All right. So I'm just going to go into the S3, and I'm going to select create bucket. So I have a bucket already created, and it's now asking me, that is the VPC in question, is asking me for something we call a S3 bucket ARN. ARN stands for Amazon Resource Number. So I'm going to navigate to that bucket I just created, and open it up. And from there, I'm just going to get the properties, go over to the properties, and I'm going to copy the Amazon resource number. Then I'm going to head back to our where we have the VPC open. I'm just going to paste that in. Meaning I want this to be saved inside this particular bucket. So if you have multiple buckets, you just have to just be specific of the one you want it to be. Go over to the bucket, copy the ARN, that is the Amazon resource number, and paste it where it's specified that it should be provided. And as for the log format, you can leave it let's leave it at the AWS default format. You can customize yours if you want to, but let's just leave it at the default format. And this is how the default format is going to be, meaning it's going to register the version, the account ID, the interface ID, the source address, the destination address, the source port and the destination port, and also the protocols, and so on and so forth. And now another important thing is the log file format. Remember, we are dealing with data, so the format the data should be saved in should be text, which is like a .txt file, and which is the default way all log format comes in. But if you want it in a much more compressed version, especially if it's large, I advise you use a particular format called PAKI, right? So let's just use this one. Let's use the text format because this is not really, large. And there we have the partition logs by time. That is meaning to reduce your query cost. Remember, we are building with the mentality of low cost. So to reduce the query cost and all, we would need it to package each and every one of these logs in some time interval, basically, which is every 24 hours or every 1 hour. So I'm going to go for every 24 hours because that's much more, that's much more cost, saving, if you ask me. And after doing all this, I just leave the rest of them as default, and I'm going to select create flow log. But remember, I said I've created this before, so I'm not going to be going over this. So if you create a flow log, one thing you are going to see is that once you go into this particular bucket that you've specified, you're going to see a folder called AWS logs. That folder is going to be created in your S3 bucket. So if you can see this folder here that I'm showing, where my cursor is currently, just know that the logs are, or rather the VPC has established a connection with the bucket. So we are done with this. Why not let us move down to the antenna? right? So I have like some other logs that I've placed here. As you can see, this is the net VPC flow logs that I've been working that has been generating for from the beginning of today down to this very moment. So I have this log, and this is the log I'm going to be taking to Athena for Athena to help me with with querying. Now, how do I get to Athena? The same way we got to VPC, the same way we got to S3, we are going to search for what? For Athena. And when we search for Athena, as you can see, serverless interactive analytics service. They are just going to select Athena. Now, once we are in Athena, it's a very, very simple thing to very simple, very simple to navigate. So once we are in Athena, we should, looking at the page, it's being pretty much straightforward. But where we are going to is where we want to explore the query editor. So I'm just going to select this. So selecting this is going to take me to to a new page. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So selecting it is going to take me to a new page. And in this page, it's going to alert me that before you run your first query, you need to set up a query result location in Amazon S3. Remember, I said our goal is to take from VPC to to S3, then from S3 to Athena, right? And then from there, we can now begin to analyze our data. So we're going to go over to the settings, as you can see here, and okay, before we do that, okay, before we do that, this is also another example of the log. So mind you, whatever we are doing here now is going back to the VPC, and we are going to be using it for our analytics. So I have to touch this first. So I'm going to select edit settings, and in that edit settings, I'm going to say, okay, I want to link the S3 to my Athena. Before we linked VPC to S3, now we are linking S3 to Athena. And then I'm going to select browse S3. Now, selecting browse S3 is going to show me a list of buckets that I have. And I'm just going to select this one, which is the one which is our destination. So I'm going to select choose, right? And then it's also going to prompt you to enter. It's optional though. You can do it, you can decide not to do it. It's going to prompt you to enter your AWS account ID. I have mine, here. I can just copy it, right? But we really do not need this. So we're just going to place that here for us to establish a connection between the S3 and the between the S3 and Athena. So quickly, let's get right into writing the queries. So while we are here, the first thing we need to do is to create a database, right? It's a serverless kind of database. So the reason why we are creating it's serverless, and doing all this might not really be necessary, but the reason why we are doing this on this serverless service is to help us organize the tables, because this is not saved in any way. It's just running based on as you put it in, you get your results. If you don't, you can decide to save it externally, but it's not going to be saved. It's just hence the name serverless. So we are creating a database to help us to organize everything, so it doesn't look scattered or cluttered. So I'm going to be creating a database. I'm going to call it Network Analytics DB. So while I run this query, all right, great. So it's going to be giving me a few description errors simply because of the database already exists. So let's not panic. I have created the database here. Although whenever you log into Athena, you have your default database, but it's always advisable you create your own, which is what we have done here. Now, inside that database, let's create a new table. So I have a query here that I used to create a new table. So I said, and in Athena, we are not just creating any tables, we are creating this as an external table, because remember, we are linking this from Athena to S3. So it's going to be an external table. And remember, we also have a location which we have just created, which we have just linked some moments ago. So we have the create external table if not exists. This is the name of the table I want to create. This is the schema, rather the fields that is going to be in that table. Remember, I said something about schema on read, which is one of the features of Athena. So we are going to be creating the schema on read. So as it's reading this data, it's going to be creating a schema. One thing you should also note is that the way I created this table is the same way the AWS usually outputs their logs. So I used that information that we had in the VPC. Yeah, okay. I guess I've gone out of that place. So I use that information to create this particular table. So we have after creating the table, after adding the fields, we're going to go with the row format delimited, meaning it is a text file, it's a raw file, and it is delimited by something. So this row format is delimited by what? Is delimited the fields by what? By something we call it what? A pipe. This particular operator is what we call it what? A pipe, just like a single horizontal line. So each and every one of those tables or the information for each tables are separated by what? Separated by a pipe. And also I also put up another query here that said it is stored as a what? As a text file. And where is this data itself? This data is located at where? I'm going to be putting in the S3 URL. How can I even get this? I'm going to go back, right, to my S3 bucket, and in my S3 bucket, I'm just going to, go over to the logs, and I'm going to copy the I'm going to copy the, okay, let me use this. So I'm going to copy the I'm going to copy the S3 URL, as you can see, S3 URI rather. I'm going to copy it so I can, use it in Athena, as you can see. And mind you, whenever you are doing this, it has to be in a folder. Like I said, that's why VPC will create a folder for you when it's linking it, but when it's linking it with the S3 bucket. So I can just run this, although I have it already, but I'm not going to be getting any error simply because I said if not exists, right? So let's just do one or two queries together so that we can see how well we can analyze and just talk about how we can link it with how we can link this with quick sites. So quickly, let's run the first query, and we have the first one that identifies the IP addresses that are sending the most network traffic in terms of bytes. But I will not be doing you much. I'll be doing you a disservice if I don't even show you a preview of the data that we are working with. So let's do that quickly. So let's say select all from what's the name of our database, network analytic DB, dot what's the name of the table that net log table. Then we can limit it. Can say limit to, let's say 20. Let's just see 20 of the queries, and let's run this. So as you can see, this is what we just ingested, right? Everything coming from the VPC, which we couldn't see before, but now we can see it now. Everything we saw it was with Athena. Even in the S3 bucket, we couldn't see it, but now we can see it with all the fields available. So this is what we are trying to run analytics on. Now let's get back to running the analytics. So right here, I'm going to be writing or running this, executing this query that identifies the IP addresses that is sending the most network traffic. This is something that the security team can use to identify who is a bot, which particular IP address is a bot. So if you are using the bot to maybe navigate a website, this is one of the ways that they use to track you and, if possible, block you, especially if you are disrupting their network on their own end. So I said select the source address, and I summed the byte as total byte. From where? From the log table, where I grouped by the source address. That is why I'm able to carry out this aggregation from the select query. Then I ordered by the total bytes. So I want to order it by total bytes in the descending order. So I want to see it from the highest to the lowest, top IP addresses. And then I can limit it to 10. Like I said, I want to see the top 10. Then let's run this. And let's see the results. So when you run this, we're going to be seeing the following IP addresses. That is the source address. Source address sometimes means you as a client, and destination address means them, if you ask me. So this is the source address, this is their total bytes, and this is the total in megabytes. So we are seeing how much data this particular IP address is sending. Although each company has different threshold in which they can use to identify who is a bot or not. But judging from this, I'm not sure anybody is a bot, because all this looks very normal. If you ask me, they are very, very very, very normal. Okay, now let's now do something interesting again. Let's now see let's understand what services ports are being targeted. So I have a query that I've written here because of our time. Time is even fast spent. I'm enjoying myself. I don't know about you. Right. So, okay. Yes, let's do this. All right, so as you can see, this query helps you understand what service ports are being targeted by rejected connection attempts. This is a crucial security check, just like I've highlighted here. And we are actually using this to see probably the causes of the rejection, or maybe they have been flagged before as offenders or as bots. That is why it's it's rejecting them. So we can just run this. Just going to run this. And as you can see, we are seeing what the port that has the most, that has rejected the most connection. So these ports are more or less like entry points to a particular network. So we are actually, maybe there's a problem with this port. We want to see maybe we can fix it, or maybe this is normal or what, or not. So these are the analytics that we can run. And where did we get this data from? All from our what? From our VPC. And as you can see, we have just carried out, or I've just shown you rather how this particular architecture works. We have just seen it in reality, from the VPC to the S3, from the S3 to the what? Amazon Athena, and to the QuickSet. And this is some of the wonderful things that we usually do, or we usually learn at what? At Analytics. And this is actually a very, very nice moment for you to sign up, get onboarded with us and land that dream role that you want to get. So I'm going to be calling up Muhyiddin to, is one that's going to be telling us all about the amazing discount offer and the pathways that we can get the path to becoming a data engineer. All right, guys, Muhyiddin, are you ready for us?
Yes, 100%. I am readily available. I don't know about you, but yes, I am. Okay, so I think before I take over, someone said, I think David Bamdele said, can we go through, I don't know, are you able to read the chat, Ojayo, before I take over?
Yes, I can. Okay, can we go through how we saved the logs in S3? Oh, absolutely. Let's go through that quickly. So let me just pull up my screen again. All right. So whenever you want to, this logs to S3 involves two services, the VPC and the S3, just like I explained. And you must have your S3 was readily available, just as we have, here. So, and then going to the VPC, you are just going to select the particular VPC in question that you want is output logs, right? To be outputted, or rather to be stored in the S3. So as you can see, we have this here. I've selected this, and under, you're going to see there are some information that's going to be given here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So we have details, resource maps, CIGRs, and flow logs. This is where we are coming to flow logs. So you're going to select flow logs. Now, under flow log, we have one already existing. You can create more than one if you want to. It's your choice. We have this here. So under this flow log, we're going to select create flow log. So I'm going to select create flow log. Now, once I select the create flow log, it's going to put me through the details of the flow log I want to create. First things first is the name, which is optional. It's actually will give you a name though, but advisably just put a name there so you can know your stuff. Then the maximum aggregation interval, that is the maximum interval of time during which a flow packet is captured. Should it capture it every 10 minutes or every 1 minute? To make it cost, to make it low cost, let's make it 10 minutes. Right? Not 1 minute. Although we can make it 1 minute, especially when you want to see it in real time. And then the destination. Remember, we are not going to CloudWatch. We are going to Amazon S3 buckets. And now it's going to now ask for something, which is the S3 bucket ARN. ARN stands for what? Put it in the chat box. ARN stands for what? Put it in the chat box. So I'm going to go over to my S3 buckets. I'm going to go over to properties. And in the properties, I'm going to see the ARN. I'm just going to copy this. I guess we have already gotten a glimpse of that already. That's fine. Then I'm going to copy that ARN and place, paste it what's in here. And from there, I'm just going to leave everything as default. Let's leave it as default down to the log file format, also to the partition logs by time, and we're going to be creating a flow log. I hope you got that, David. Thank you, Blessed. Amazon resource number. Wonderful, David. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Moidin, your cue.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ojayo, for having a very wonderful presentation. And I'm certain that aside from me, I believe every other person was able to actually enjoy and got value from the session. Now, before I take over, if you actually got value, I can say that Daniel got value. So if you actually got value just like every other person, I want you to drop a yes in the chat box so we know exactly if Ojayo actually was able to impart knowledge in this very tiny session that we're able to have. All right, I want you to drop a one in the chat if you got value from everything that's been said. Okay, I have just Bamidele. I think Bamidele is the only person that's actually following because Bamidele was the person that also asked the question. Is it only Bamidele that we have here? If you got value from the session, I want you to drop a one or a yes in the chat box. Ah, fantastic. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, I can see iPhone. I don't know your name, so I'll call you iPhone. Then I can see user. I can see Adenike. I can see also a familiar face. Temwaninge. I believe I've had a session with you. Your name is totally unique, so I believe it is you. There is no other person. You are about the only Temwaninge I've spoken with. So I'm certain you're the person. Are you able to confirm if it's you, Temwaninge? Oh, fantastic, fantastic. All right. So welcome. So when we're looking at everything that Ojaya's talked about, all right, so Jonathan said he's new to all this, so he's not so sure if he was able to understand everything. It is totally understandable. And trust me, there was a point that each and every one of us, we were in that particular spot where anything that looks technical is almost impossible for us to understand. It's almost impossible for us to get into or even understand whatever we're looking into. But what we've been able to do at Analytics is actually what we did was we went ahead to look at all the major job boards to identify roles that company are really looking to hire for. Okay, so we gather all this data, all this information, and we analyzed it. So while we're analyzing, we analyzed based on three major criteria, which you can see on your screen. The first one is the ease of learning, meaning anybody, and I mean just about anybody, Jonathan, can actually learn and understand whatever that's been taught. All right. And these particular jobs that you're looking to get into, meaning you can easily learn it. The second one is the ease of transitioning, meaning you don't need any sort of prerequisite skills or experience in that industry before you are able to transition into this particular career path. Then the last one is the high rewarding salary. Now, after all our analysis, we're able to arrive at 8 different career paths that you are able to apply all these three major criteria. But tonight, we are not talking about all of them. We are talking majorly about one, which is data engineering. Now, it would be so surprising that looking at data engineering, we now have the understanding that if you go through the training, you are able to easily learn it, you are able to easily transition, and it's going to give you a high rewarding salary. But what we further did was we went ahead to seek external validation because we have the understanding now. So if Jonathan, you go through the data engineering program, you will easily be able to transition into this path, understand everything you do, and it's going to give you a high rewarding salary. We have that confirmation. But what we don't have is that, oh, so what is that job security like? Oh, so after some time, you won't see yourself or that job saying it doesn't function anymore, or they don't need you anymore, or that particular department has closed down by your organization. What is that validation of that job security? And what we did in this regard was to look out for the external validation, reaching out to the World Economic Forum And the report we were able to get from them was the future of job report. Now, this particular report was indicating and showing the career path. And it's telling us that in the next 5 years, we are going to have 170 million jobs created, new jobs created, and at the same time, 92 million jobs will disappear. That information is shocking for anybody looking to transition. What's going to give me that guarantee that whatever career path I want to get into now is not going to be part of the 92 million that will disappear? That was the first question I asked when I saw the report. And the answer to that was the World Economic Forum now went ahead to look at the career paths that are really high in demand. And this is the one we're looking at, the fastest growing career paths or in-demand jobs that will grow between 2025 to 2030. And if you can see my screen, let me put this in the full screen so you see it better and clearer. If you see this particular report, it is telling us that the data engineers has the highest in demand, the fastest growing jobs between now and 2025, because the first one you can see on that list is big data specialist. And as a big data specialist, what Ojara just did, these are the things you get to do as a data engineer working with big data, knowing exactly how to do your data migration from on-premise to the cloud, securing it in the cloud, just like Ojara just did. These are the things that you get to do as a data engineer, right? So this will give you that affirmation that transitioning into a data engineering role has the opportunity to have you go through the whole three major criteria, then also the job security that we're looking at talking about. This particular report also shows, so if you see the career path that is on the right side of my screen, and you see the ones that are on the left side of my screen, this career path, the ones on the right side of my screen are showing you career paths that are gradually going to fade off. Remember, this career path on the right side of my screen, they are gradually going to be part of these 92 million jobs. So one way or the other, if you see yourself or your career path in the right side of the screen, you want to find a way to run. That's what I'll literally say. Run to the left side of the screen, because the career path on the left side of the screen, these are career paths that are going to grow according to the World Economic Forum. And as they always say, data never lies. Right? So to get this particular report, remember, my colleagues are dropping the attendance form in the chat box. So for those of you joining this session for the very first time, and you'd like to have access to this particular report, make sure you complete the attendance sheet so that this particular session is recorded. You get the video. Then this slide that I'm using also, you will be able to get it, and you have access to directly click on this particular link and get into the World Economic Forum and see the reports that we talked about, right? So, and if you're looking at roles you can apply to after going through the data engineering program, you have a whole lot of them. You have, number one, definitely the data engineers. You have ability to apply to roles like that. The analytics engineer, BI engineer or BI developer. Considering you will be learning, you actually just learned AWS. These are part of the things you will be learning in your class. So this is just like a sprinkle of what you'll be learning. You will learn everything within your program, which will open you to work as a cloud engineer, the AWS, the Microsoft Azure, and the Google Cloud Platform engineer. All right. So you have that opportunity to transition into becoming a cloud engineer by going through the data engineering program. You also have ETL developer, big data engineer, data migration specialist, and data platform engineer. These are some more roles, as some are the opportunities you have to be able to see yourself transitioning into these career paths. Now, according to Elon Musk, there was a time that all we had to do was go through a particular route, get certification, and get a job. That era is the past tense. Right now, for anybody looking to transition into a big company, get a good job, no matter what you're doing, what is way more important is your technical skills, your technical ability, your technical know-how. What can you do? And without what can you do, showing actually what you can do is what the training is about, where you get to have hands-on skills, just like you can see what Ojara just did. you have these hands-on skills and be able to have them transition to actually getting you the job. And when you're looking at what you get to learn, to be able to learn and learn all these hands-on skills and learn on these roles that we're talking about, the first thing you'll be learning in your class. So, Jonathan, if you see the key learning area, you will see that the first thing on that list is introduction to data engineering, meaning we don't even expect you to have any knowledge at all in data engineering before you can get into the program. None, because you have introduction to data engineering. Then after your introduction, you get to understand how you use SQL as a opportunity to store information in a database. You also learn Python programming language. You learn your Linux operating system. You learn how to use your Python to build your ETL custom pipelines, to set up your database for your APIs injection, your web scraping, and so many more. Then you also learn how to automate data retrieval processes, learning how to use Apache Spark and Apache Airflow, where you learn how to automate data pipeline automations. Then, just like I said earlier, you have cloud engineering, where you get to learn GCP and Azure. Then you also have transferable skills to AWS, which is what you just saw Ojayo did, right? You learn GitHub version control, you learn ChatGPT, then you learn GitHub Copilot, also as a data engineer. Then the training, everything you get to do in your class, just like you saw that what Adria just did with the company having challenges and how you'll be able to solve them. This type of case studies, these are the ways you get to learn within the program from start till finish. And get to do this for the duration of 6 months. So you get to work on different types of projects. You get to work on different type of project that you encounter different types of challenge, and you have industry professionals be by your side and walk you through how to solve all these challenges hands-on. All right, so you be in this a very vibrating environment for about 6 months. Then once you're done with your 6 months in class training, you get onto internship. Your internship is going to be with our sister company, Amdari. Amdari is going to give you that real world experience to work on real world projects. And the value you'll be getting from this is now you'll be able to have all this experience that you've gathered, the ones you gathered in class, and the real life you worked on with Amdari, you're able to take them and add them to your portfolio. So when you add them to your portfolio, you have opportunity to, so when you get to any interview and they're asking you to walk them around how you're able to help an organization dismantle and set up a very fantastic process flow of data, you will be able to easily walk them through how you're able to migrate on-premise data storage to the cloud and secure the environment for seamless data retrieval processes. This is something you'll be able to do 100%. And that is because in class, you worked on a lot of projects like that. In your internship, you also did way more real-life scenarios, and you have all these things in your portfolio to showcase your experience. So these are the ways that you need to go through the program and have hands-on experience while you're learning. Now, for your classes, considering that 99.9% of people going through the training, you either have them studying or they are working, or they are working and studying at the same time. Some are even working 2 jobs. So definitely, we know that as an adult, your weeks are going to be very occupied. So your live classes has nothing to do with any of your busy schedule. You have your live classes on Saturday. All right. You have it on Saturday, 11 a.m. West African time, UK time to 2 p.m. West African time, UK time. That's for those in that region. Then for those, because I saw that I'll have some people from Alberta and I have someone from Arizona also. In this particular scenario, you are not mandated to join that class. You have another class that will easily fit into your time zone. That is going to be the evening class that you can see. The evening is for the West African, but in your own time zone, that's going to be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. MST or 12 noon to 3 p.m. EST, right? So you have the same opportunity as every other person that is going through the program. And the value you'll actually be getting now is you don't have your live instructor-led classes every Saturday. So imagine, Jonathan, that what I just did, imagine this is a live class. You had a 3 hour long of a drilling class. and you get to work on projects, you get to work on it. Definitely, you're just seeing it for the first time. It's something that might be very difficult for you to understand because, like me, I'm a very visual person. When you are doing something, I prefer I see it than me reading or anything about. So that is a very good way for me to learn. So when you actually see it, you practicalize it, it is expected that you make mistakes, that you make errors, that you even skip steps because you're doing it for the first time. So what we have is instead of us having a live class where you come and you get to learn a new thing every Saturday, you rather have your live class every other Saturday. Meaning in a month, you will have your live instructor-led class 2 Saturdays in the fall. Then your other 2 Saturdays, you have what we call a drop-in session. Another name for drop-in session is a troubleshooting class, whereby whatever you've done during your live class or during the week, whatever challenges you've had, you're unable to solve it, you bring these challenges into a live drop-in session where you have your instructor. And in this drop-in session, just the way I'm able to share my screen, you will have your instructor, you'll be able to share your screen with your instructors, and they'll be able to actually see the mistakes you are making, and they'll be able to guide you. So you have this every other Saturday. So you have 2 live classes and you have 2 live drop-in sessions. Then you see all during the week, you have access to a self-paced watch me do it video where you get to watch at your own time and at your own pace. You get to practice because all your watch me do it video, they are still on projects. You get to practice, you have mistakes, you have questions, you have that community and your instructor there to answer these questions. So this is what you get to do for 6 months. And by the time you're done, you have the ability to get on landing yourself because everything you would do will be added to your portfolio. And this particular gentleman on my screen, his name is God. He was able to actually go through the data engineering program from having no background at all in this space, was a student, went through the training, and was able to land himself a job as a warehouse and ETL developer with NHS. And definitely for a high demand role, a particular role that is number one in demand, according to the World Economic Forum, the least you expect is such role will come with sponsorship, which it definitely did. Right? So the same way God was able to land this role is the same way you will be going through the training. From having zero experience, go through the training, you have your mistakes, you have your community there ready to support your learning. Then you take this experience into the reward scenario, you apply to jobs readily available for you. This is the process that God went through and every other participant that you have in the program with analytics. So over here, you see the opportunity for you to be able to click on this particular link. So you're able to click on this link and you see God's portfolio with all the projects he has done while in class, during internship are the ones that he take upon himself just to have better understanding and better route within the industry. So you see everything you get to learn. So you see everything you're going to learn here. Your Linux operating system, your Python programming, your cloud engineering, your SQL, all these are just talked about. All these are just 50% of what we tend to offer you. Just 50%. And the other 50% is what we call the employability skills. Now, what the employability skills means, like, it means, okay, so now you're fantastic. You have the skill of a data engineer. You've gone through the training, you have fantastic knowledge. Everything is something you can find your way around as a data engineer. But how does this skill, how does it convert to getting you a job? Because that's like the most important thing. I don't know about you, but if I'm getting into anything like this, I'm very particular about getting a job after my training. And this is what the employability skill is for. And what does employability skills mean? It means it's more or less going to weaponize your technical skill to get you the job that you need. And when you're looking at the employability skill, the number one on that is your CV, because your CV will be the first thing to get into a particular spot before you even get to that place. So how does your CV, how does it represent you? How does your CV open doors for you? Doors that you're unable to get to immediately right now, how does your CV do that for you? That's the number one thing. Then, because, and when you're having your CV, We have in-house professional that will look at your CV, take your CV from you and revamp it to be industry standard as a data engineer CV should be. Then that same professional will walk you through how to tailor your CV to apply to jobs. Because when you take a particular CV and you apply to like 100 jobs, one particular CV, you're doing a lot of harm than good. So you will learn exactly how to tailor your CV to each job you are looking to apply to. So if you apply to 10 jobs in a day, you must have applied with 10 different CVs, tailored CVs. How you get to do this I think you get to learn in your CV sessions. Then there's a limit to the jobs you can apply to with your CV. Rather, there's a lot of market out there, a lot of opportunities, but that you don't even have knowledge about. How do you take advantage of these opportunities? This is where your LinkedIn comes into play, where you learn, you have a live session that will teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn, right? To furthermore give you the opportunity to get the jobs that you don't even have any knowledge that they exist. Then we also have something they call navigating the job market. This is where you get to learn how and where to search for all these jobs, the ones that come with sponsorship, the ones that come with the opportunities for you to work fully remote, the ones that come with hybrid option, or if you're somebody that loves to go out, you are more productive when you go out, so you're more focused on getting something that is fully on site. How do you get these jobs? There's a particular thing you use, a particular keyword you use when you're searching for roles that will fully or give you the opportunity to work from remote settings. But the fact that we've had these sessions, I will give you that. So when you're searching for roles like that, companies like that, we call them remote first companies. So I believe we all know ChatGPT. So go on your ChatGPT, tell it to give you remote first companies in data engineering that are probably missing your location. You will see it to come up with that. So you see what I just told you? These and some more are things you get to learn within your employability, which is going to properly structure and position you to get into that position that you need. Because all these things you're talking about definitely is for you to be able to transition and get a job, right? And when you're looking at getting a job, one thing that is also very important is before you're actually able to get that job, there's going to be one very important thing, and that is interview. How do you scale the interview that you need to attend before you get into that job? And before you get into any job, right? We have what we call interview preparation, meaning if you have any interview scheduled, you have the opportunity to book a one-on-one session with a professional that will look at your CV, will look at the job you applied to, look at the company, then prepare you for that role before you get into that particular interview. Meaning these are industry standard, industry professionals that know exactly what is going on in the industry. These professionals get into a one-on-one session with you and they prepare you. So let's say today is Wednesday. Let's say you have an interview on Friday or let's say Monday. Before that interview, you have opportunity to book a one-on-one session with a professional that will take you, prepare you, drill you, do whatever, just to make sure that you have a better understanding of how to present yourself, how to answer questions, how to introduce yourself, and how to speak confidently, and a lot more. These are the things that you get to learn within the employability. And definitely, when you put all this into action, the list is you get a job, and we will to offer you reference letter. Then we also have something that we call on the job support, meaning you've gotten the job. Let's say you're still in the training or even after your training, you've gotten the job, or at some point, they ask you to do something that you're not so certain that you can do. You don't have to fret about it. You have the opportunity to always reach out back to us. You have a professional come on board with you and guide you through this particular difficult time. And for everybody looking to transition, this is a new environment, meaning having a mentor's guidance is something that is priceless. It's something that majority of us that transitioned very early, we suffered from it because you see yourself, for example, if you're watching a particular course on, let's say, YouTube or any other learning platform that you just have to watch. I struggle with it. I don't really know about you, but me, I struggle. Something that is about, let's say, 60 minutes, which is meant to be 1 hour. You will see me 1 week, I'm still watching it. I'm not done yet because it's difficult. And these are the things that having a mentor guide you on exactly how to go about them, it is priceless. So these are some of the things you get access to while in the training. Immediately your training starts, even till after your training, you still have these mentors guidance guide you in exactly how to navigate this market. Then for people looking to get skilled, to be able to offer their services on a more freelance approach, you have the ability to learn how to set up a profile on Upwork and be able to offer your services to both individuals and organization at the same time, right? And by the time you are done with your training, you will be getting certificates. You have the opportunity to have both Tenalytics and Amdari on your CV. Tenalytics is registered in Alberta, Canada. Then Amdari is also registered in actually Canada also, and also registered in London, right? London and in England. So you have the opportunity to have these two companies on your CV, all right? Then you also be getting a certificate, like I mentioned. You'll be getting a certificate, and your certificate is actually accredited by American Council of Training and Development, which you will be getting after your training. But like I said, the era of certification is then anybody looking to hire you now in the tech space, they are more focused on what exactly are the skills you have that you're bringing to the organization. And considering how high in demand the data engineering program is, they really want to know if you have the skill. And these are the things you get to learn within the program. But that does not negate the fact that you will still be getting a a certificate after your training. Now, you might be wondering, we're also part of our Baltic Catalyzer program, which is something you can have access to. This is how we try to encourage and have that outreach to have the opportunity to have more people transition into tech. These are all the things you can have access to when you go through the slide. Now, the big question might be how exactly do you start? You have a lot of success stories. We have a lot of people that have been able to go through the training and they've been able to actually land a job. We have lots of them. I won't really waste so much time saying I want to go through them. Over here, we have Idris. When he went through the program, he's actually based in UK. He was able to get a job with Land Rover in UK. I think currently he's working with an insurance company, a very big company, insurance company in UK. And he was able to get this job immediately after the training. He got the job with Land Rover immediately after his training, right? So these are some of the things you get advantage to. Like I said, you have ability to get a slide and click on it to be able to hear Idris speak and tell you about everything he went through, how he was able to land a job with Land Rover UK. Also, Michael also went through the training, how was able to get a job with a big software company in UK also, all right? So we have loads. We have people that are even based in Nigeria, like for example, Abdul Rashid. Abdul Rashid currently resides in Abuja and is working with Child 420, a company in the US, or he's working as a data scientist, all right? So these are all the opportunities that is open to you to go for you to be able to get into. And the next step or the opportunity that lies for you to be able to take advantage of it now is the next cohort that is starting, the next class we're having starts on the 6th of September. Okay, so by 6th of September, we're having another class starting for the data engineering program, and you have 100% opportunity to get into this particular program. All right. So for you to get into it, the original cost for that particular program is $1,000 US, right? For the program, for you to be able to get into the program is $1,000 US. But I will let you into one particular major secret. You see, this is $1,000 is actually currently being discounted as a whopping sum of 25% discount for anybody looking to register between now and 22nd of August, which is few days from now. It is like 2 days from now. So if you're looking to get into the program and take advantage of that whopping 25% discount, you have ability to secure your spot immediately right now and join the class starting by 6th of August, and you'll be getting a 25% discount. Now, for those that are unable to make it from the 23rd of August to 29th of August, you will be getting a 20% discount, which is equivalent to $800 dollars. US dollars, get 800 US dollars. Then for the late bird, that's the late registrations, you have from 30th of August to 5th of September, you have 15% discount, right? So, but right now, as we speak, you still have the ability to secure your 25% discount and join the program. And it gets even better, right? It gets better. You see, for you to join the class starting by either 6th of September, or this particular discount is still available for those looking to start by October. For you to do this, and you're looking to get advantage of 25% discount, that's for you to pay $750. You have the ability to spread your payment and pay as little as a 150 US dollars. That means that 750 US dollars, you have the ability to spread it and pay up to 5 times. Okay, my colleagues are sharing the link in the chat box, so you have the ability to click on the link they're sharing and take advantage of the discount, right? So you have the ability to spread the 750 US dollars and pay up to 5 months, and that will have you pay 150 US dollars every month for 5 months. You also have the ability to pay once, you pay twice, 3 times, 4 times, or as much as 5 times. Okay. So for you to be able to do this, click on the link that my colleagues are sharing in the box. It will take you to our website where you'll be able to make your payment. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to walk you through how you'll be able to make your payment. So you can also see it's pretty straightforward. Trust me, it is very, very straightforward, right? But you have the ability to get into it and actually secure your spot in that regard. Now, I'm going to, if you click on that particular link that my colleagues are showing in the box, so let me share the screen so you can see what I'm showing you. It will bring you to this particular page. So if bring you to this particular page, what you want to do is you want to scroll down to the particular program that you want to register for. But in this case, we are looking at the data engineering program. Okay. So any of the program you're looking to register for, this is where you get to register them with a link that my colleague shared in the chat box. This is where you get to register them. You want to click on buy now, right? So you want to click on data engineering. You want to click on buy now. Once you click on buy now, you'll have ability to see everything you will be doing and a lot more. It's not everything. You have a lot more that you get to do when you get into class. But you see the course description, your curriculum, the course outline, the duration, many more. You get to see all this. And once you get down, you will also see the opportunity to say enroll now. So you want to click on this enroll now. So once you click on that, it will open up a page where you have opportunity to select if you're starting in September, remember 6th of September, or you want to start by October, 5th of October, right? Sorry, 4th of October. So whichever one that works for you, you want to select it, then you go to your payment plan. Now for your payment plan, if you remember, the price is 25% discount, and that is 750 US dollars. But if you're looking to pay one time, or you're looking to pay twice, you will save yourself additional 50 US dollars as discount, and you get to pay 700. That's if you're looking to pay once or twice. Okay, if you're looking to pay once or twice, you have the opportunity to pay 700. But if that will not be so comfortable for you, you have the ability to pay 3 times, 4 times, or even 5 times. And what you have to do is select the plan that works for you. Then you click on pay. Once you do that, you set up your account. Then you make your payment, and you will be in class as soon as the class starts. Right. So this is how you make your payment. And even if you're joining from Nigeria, you're joining from US, you're joining from UK, this particular website is geotagged, meaning wherever you're joining from, you have the ability to pay directly. For example, if you're joining from Nigeria, you have ability to pay directly in Naira. If you're joining from Ghana, you have ability to pay directly in your currency. If you're joining from UK, 100% in pounds. If you're joining, I saw somebody is from Dusseldorf. You also have opportunity to pay 100% in euros. Okay, There is no like you need a currency exchanger or anything. No, it is geotagged and you have the ability to pay directly from your website. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you key in your discount spot and you secure spot. Then there's also one opportunity that you will get. So let's say, for example, you would like to speak with a professional, either myself or some of my other colleagues, and you would like that conversation. You want to have a better understanding of if data engineering is the best option for you or any of the other program. What you want to do is secure your spot, then indicate when after you secure your spot, you can have the opportunity to indicate that you need to speak with a professional, right? And in that case, you'll be in a session either with myself or with my other colleague, where we get to understand your career, your experience, what you've been through, and we'll decide if the data engineering program is the best option for you or any of the other program. You have the opportunity 100%. And what you also be getting now is, so let's say you made payments through data engineering, and we noticed that no, data engineering might not be the best fit for you, rather cybersecurity or let's say business analysis or let's say data science. After that session, you have 100% opportunity to switch to the other program without any other discount, any other additional cost. Okay, you have the opportunity, right? So what you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you select the the option that works for you, secure your spot, and I'll be looking forward to see you in class either in September or in August. So if anybody do have questions, you have opportunity to drop your questions in the chat box. I will also be, if you also want to speak, you can just ask to unmute your mic, then I'll be able to, you can raise your hand and I can easily ask you to unmute your mic so you can ask your questions. Okay? But if you have questions, you can always drop it in the chat box. Okay? Right. I have already filled everything. Okay, I think okay. Elohor said, do you need a degree in engineering to get a job as a data engineer? The answer to that is no. 100%. Because if you heard when I was talking about the initial part where we're looking at the jobs that are really high in demand and companies are really looking out for, you don't need any sort of prerequisite knowledge to be able to get a job as a data engineer. Then in the data space entirely, there is no industry there's no industry regulated body that issue any sort of certificates. Meaning, as a data analyst, a data scientist, or as a data engineer, whoever that is looking to hire you, they are very particular about what have you been able to do, what problems have you been able to solve, what values are you bringing to the organization, and these three dimensions, these are the things that your program will be giving to you, both your 6 months in class training and your 2 month internship. You get to work on real world projects, solve real world cases, and you have the ability to add them to your portfolio. Okay. So you don't need any sort of certification or degree before you're able to get a job as a data engineer, right? Because you say, can I get a degree in English language as online a job in data science that we're going through this program? The answer to that is 100% Eloho, okay? Because it's focused on your technical know-how. So if you have a question, you can always drop in the chat box. If not, you can always indicate that you want to speak, and I'll be able to call you or ask you to unmute your mic and you get to speak. All right? Do we have questions? Any questions? Anybody, do you have questions? Do we have questions? Do we have questions? If you have questions, you can drop it in the chat box. If you don't want to drop in the chat box, you can always indicate that you want to speak, and I can ask you to unmute your mic to speak. Right. I think we are all good. I think we're all good. Are we good? Am I free to go? Okay, Sean. Sean just dropped a question. Let me see what you said. As an MBA holder trying to transition into tech, what would you recommend? So this is what I said. Now, for somebody with your educational qualifications, it span way above this. It's not just going to be your educational qualifications. Your educational qualification, what exactly can you do with it? If you're looking at business analysis, what tool in business analysis can you work with? These are some of the questions that we are able to look out for in the clarity session. This is why I said you can just make your payments, then book for the clarity session, because in the session, we look at your educational background, we look at the things you are comfortable doing, the things you are not comfortable doing, your work experience. How does all this conform to the career path you're looking to transition into? Right? Because as somebody that have MBA, there's a lot of things that can be attached to that. And it's not going to be 100% dependent on you just having MBA, because that does not really qualify for anything, right? What can you do? What tools are you able to use? Then okay, let's say, for example, as a business analyst, you're very good with draw.io. What have you done with draw.io? What solution have you brought about using draw.io? Anybody looking to hire you, they want to know this. Because when you come into the organization, you get to use tools like this to solve their problems. So when they ask you questions like that, you will easily be able to talk about a time when a particular company was having issues with their online booking system, how you're able to map out the process using draw.io, how you're able to map out the to-be and the as it is state, and you're able to make the recommendations, and how the process you follow to implement the recommendations. They want to know this. And these are the things that will qualify you as a skill, hands-on skills that you're able to transfer to the job, not just you having MBA. All right. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Sean. So register, make sure you secure your spot, then get into a clarity session. You have a professional be able to look at everything you have, and they'll be able to guide you on what you should be looking out for. Is it business analysis? Is it data engineering? Which one is the best option for you? They will be able to give you that, right? So Linda Fagbinro said, which background is required for data engineering? None. None. The answer to that is none. You have 100% to have zero technical background and have the ability to get into data engineering. Just that now, it now depends on your level of technicality or how you get to understand technical things. Because if you look at what my colleague Ojayo just did, if you're somebody that, let's say, your level of exposure to anything technical, or when it comes to using laptop is, let's say, the farthest you've gone with laptop is probably check your email. You don't know how to use anything technical. Then you want to consider if you want to go into data engineering or not. Because if you could see what Ojayo just did is a bit technical. So for somebody that is not technically inclined, you might struggle. And the struggle is going to be in the sense that you are seeing all these things that is tradition to every other person. You are seeing it for the very first time. So for you to actually be able to assimilate and be on the same level with other person that's been able to using laptop for a very long time. Some even have knows how to use some technical things that is on their laptop, but you don't. So you might want to dedicate more time to practice. If data engineering is what you really want to get into, they want to dedicate more time to practicing. This will get you accustomed to the ways of how to get things done and give you the opportunity to have the same level of skill and expertise that every other person do have, right? So for you to get into data engineering or any of the career path, zero. Or your level of technicality in data engineering should be good if you don't want to really struggle, right? So almost said I have a question. Okay, can you prepare only for mock interviews and job placement? So when you say mock interviews, like you want to join the program and get into interviews only, or get interview preparations and job placements, do you have skill? You need to come up, you need to let me know some things more about you, right? Can someone with an account degree be qualified? Linda, the answer to that is yes. But with somebody that have an accountant degree, have you worked as an accountant? That's the first question. I don't really care about the degree, because in the tech space, what we are used to, right? What we've been used to over time is we're used to studying for the sake of for the sake of I went to university to get BSc. I'm doing this particular course to get this particular certification. But these certifications we are looking at for in the tech space almost holds no value. There are some career paths that, yes, certifications will get some of the job done for them, open the doors for them. But for them to be able to retain a seat in that particular company, you need definitely a technical skill. Some career path, for example, data engineering, there is no certifications. What you need for anybody to be able to reach out to you is showcase the things you've done as a data engineer, the database you've been able to build, the structures you've been able to build, the architecture you've been able to lay out as a data engineer for data processing, for data workflow. What have you been able to do? So if you have accounting background, what we should be looking out for is, have you worked as an accountant? What are the things that you're comfortable with? And when you're transitioning, which is going to be favorable, you have better advantage going into the financial analytics program or the data analytics program or the business analysis, or you have an advantage in data and data engineering. These are the things that, so I'm giving you an insight to the things you will face coming into the pro. We just don't say you want to register for data engineering, okay, go. No, you look at things that will be of value to you. Because remember, it's not just about taking the program, it's about getting you a job, landing a job after the training. So you need to make sure that we put you in a program, in a course that is going to be of value to you, where you have an advantage. All right. So these are the things you get to look out for when you come into the program. So secure your sports, request that you need to speak with a professional, book for a clarity session, and definitely we get to look at all these things way more in depth. I'll be able to advise you, right? Okay, do I have more questions? So there are no more questions. I think I've been able to answer. So, Omo, I think if you want me to answer the question, you can always add more to it or indicate to speak. I can easily ask you to unmute your mic and you get to speak. But aside from that, try to secure a spot and we'll be looking forward to have you join the program, join the class either by 6th of September or by 4th of October, right? But the most important thing is you don't want to miss the 25% discount because you have just 2 days. Just 2 days. It's going to end on the 22nd of August. So iPhone, they are not training on Sundays. No, you only have your live classes on Saturday, and you don't even have it on you don't have your live instructor-led classes every Saturday. You have it every other Saturday. The other Saturday that you're not having a live instructor-led class, you're having a live drop-in session where you get to solve whatever sort of challenge you're having. If you don't have a challenge, some of your colleagues that are facing challenges, if you join that particular session, you have a better understanding of. So when you encounter such a challenge, you'll be able to know exactly how to solve these problems. Okay? You don't have classes on Sundays, right? Or you have ability to learn on Sunday because you have your self-paced. So your learning is not limited to just when you're in class. You have your self-paced session, your watch me do it video, which is something you get to do at your own time, right? So you have ability to do this all week long. So if you want to study on Sunday, you have the time on Sunday to study, you can 100% go through your videos on Sunday, okay? Right. Do you have any questions before we end the session? So Daniel said, which of the program is the most technical? The most technical, I will tell you the top two. The most technical is cybersecurity. You agree with me that that industry itself is technical, very technical. So, and that particular industry is very fast paced. So it's very technical, the most technical, or it's not like it's not learnable 100%, right? Cybersecurity followed by data engineering, right? That's what you get. Cybersecurity, then data engineering, then every other is. So when you're now looking at level of technicality, it now depends on the person that is getting into it. But somebody that has, I think like I'm trying to remember your name. Let me see that. But somebody like Linda that has accounting background. So that level of technicality might be higher, considering to somebody that have been working on laptop or have been using laptop for a very long time, and you know some way around laptop. So that level of technicality is not going to be the same thing. But in level of technicality, cybersecurity, then followed by data engineering. Then Sean said, is there a money back guarantee? 100%. There's a money back guarantee. So let's say you register for the program now, you join the clarity session to have a better understanding of which of these career paths is best for you. Then after that session, you see that, oh no, this is not for me. You are getting your 100% money back without any sort of deduction or anything. You get your money back 100%. Okay. Right. Will the training be recorded for people that may be absent? The answer to that is 100% yes. Apologies that I didn't even mention this. So remember, we are all adults and anything can happen. We can have engagements, we can have things we want to get into, or we might even be distracted during these live sessions, both the live class or the live drop-in sessions or any of the other sessions that are live. So during the course of your program, all your live sessions, everything, both your live class, your live drop-in session, your live mentorship session, your live CV optimization, your live LinkedIn optimization, whatever live session that you had, everything will be recorded and added to your Google Classroom. So let's say you miss a class on Saturday. That class is going to be recorded, it's going to be added to your Google Classroom, and you can immediately have access. So let's say Saturday evening, you're back, you have the time to go through the video. The video will be already waiting for you in your Google Classroom. And it gets better. That video that is in your Google Classroom, you have a lifetime access to it. So it's not like after your training, you don't have access to the materials anymore. You have a lifetime access to everything, right? So your classes are always recorded, right? So, Chidi said, what's the success rate for your student that in the data engineering program? What the percentage of them are able to complete the program, or what are the percentage able to land a job? So currently, our success rate currently stands at 91%. Earlier this year, it used to be 88%. Right? Then by the end of first quarter moving into second quarter, end of second quarter, we moved for second quarter, we're able to move to 89%. But currently, we are currently at 91%, right? That's the current success rate that we have, right? And you can actually go through our YouTube. You will see loads of students that have been able to go through the training and they've been able to secure a job. I think I have some of them on my slide. I don't really have all of them because, it's not everybody that will be comfortable to have their pictures on the slide like this. We have loads of them. Joel joined the data engineering program, was able to get a job almost immediately after his training. Vivian Oluwadamilare is in UK, was able to get a job with BAM UK. Ikmat used to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. She went through the data analytics program and she was able to get a job as a data analyst. I have loads of people, loads of them, I mean loads. So you have ability to go through this particular slide or go through our YouTube where you get to see lots of other participants that have been able to go through a training and they've been able to land themselves a job, all right? So you have lots of them. There's a lot that you can get to see. There's a lot of them. So you want to go through the YouTube and you see lots of more people with their testimonials. Okay. Right. So I think I've been able to do give you a little bit of value to having understanding on how exactly you can move from having no technical background to transitioning into a job ready for in as a tech professional, as a data engineer. So you want to take advantage of this information, take advantage of the discounts currently available. The discounts ends 2 days from now. All right. So you want to take advantage of that. If you have more questions, you have confusions about anything, make your payment, book your session, and you have either myself or my colleague in a clarity session that will give you better insight to what exactly you might be confused about. All right. So, at the absence of any further questions, thank you all for being here. You spent about 1 hour, 30 minutes with me here. Thank you, myself, on my behalf of myself and my colleague. So yes, I talked about this, Daniel. There's an opportunity for you to pay part payment and also pay in installments. Let me show you. So, okay, so if you click on that link, all right, so what I'm going to do is, Daniel, I'm going to ask you to unmute. All right, Daniel, I ask you to unmute. Can you unmute your mic and speak?
Hello.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. So if you click on that particular link that my colleagues are dropping in the chat box, it should take you to the enrollment center, right? Have you done that?
Yes.
So if you
Yeah.
go there, click on data engineering and click on enroll now. You'll be able to see the payment plan, right? You have opportunity to pay one time, twice, 3, 4, or 5 times.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. So whichever plan that works for you, you have opportunity to get into it. And let's say, for example, you're looking to secure your spot and pay right now, but you're not so comfortable for your next payment to be on the 28th. You rather want it to be at the end of the month. You have the ability to edit your next payment to a suitable time, not necessarily at this exact date. Meaning you can edit your next payment to be at the end of September. That's like 30th of September, right? So you can easily do that. Or securing
Okay.
your spot, you have ability to do that right away. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. So I think I have a question. Can the time for the business analysis program be shortened to for the BA? So no, the answer to that is no. And I can bet that the reason for that question, because we actually get it a lot. Can the time for the program, 8 months is too long, 6 months is too long? Can it be shortened so I can quickly learn this thing and get a job? No, the answer to that is no. Well, I'll make it easier for you. So you see that 6 months interval, 6 months learning duration is actually when you get to learn everything from start to finish. Okay. But for you to land a job, you don't need to wait from start to finish of something before you're able to take your skill and start applying to job. And when you join the program or more, you have ability to start applying to job as early as 2 months into your training. Okay, you might not have all the skill as a business analyst yet. No, you might not have that. That's why you're still in training. But you have ability. You've had some. As 2 months into your program, you have some basic data skills. You also have some basic processing, process analyzing skills. You have that already. So you have ability to start applying to some roles as a business analyst. And if, let's say, by 3 months into your training, you got a job as a business analyst, remember, there is always on-the-job support. We've had students, lots of them, that have been able to go through the training and they got a job while still in the training, right? So on-the-job support is able, I'll be able to have them get the job and be able to provide that support. So yes, 100%, you have the ability to start applying to jobs, all right? So thank you all for being here. I do appreciate the time spent. I do enjoy my time. And I believe everybody has been able to get value. Omo, you're welcome. So make sure you try to secure your spot. Click on the link my colleague has shared in the chat box. Secure your spot, register. If you need to speak with a professional, remember, you have the opportunity to always book for that session. Book for that session, and I'll be seeing you in either the class in September and or in the clarity session. So, in the absence of any other questions, thank you for being here and cheers and bye for now. Bye, everybody. All right, so I've asked everybody to unmute, so it won't be like I'm the only one speaking since forever. So everybody, you can unmute your mic and you can say your bye-byes, okay? Thank you for being here. Bye, everyone.
Bye, thank you.
See ya.
Bye, bye, Lala.
Bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Ciao, ciao, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Choose.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.